Good morning, everybody. Thought I'd do another video today. I know it's been a couple last week, rare, but hey, what are you gonna do? Got nothing else to do. I'm on the outside. I'm looking in. Nothing we can do, right? What do you do? Uh, it just keeps getting more absurd every day. It's uh, it's really funny now. They make laugh now, but it's so funny how they treat us like we're stupid. Well, I mean, for the most part, as a general public, we are not very intelligent. And it's funny how people go, how did they do that? Why would they do that? Um, Links in the description. If anybody ever wanted to come in, you're welcome. Um, but the setup, the delivery, and now the punch to our gut. So many people are looking around going, it's the left. No, it's the right. It's the left. It's the right. It's good versus evil, folks. And one of the best things, wake and bake with y'all. And one of the best things evil does is try to convince you that it's good. Like Nancy Pelosi. She does it for the children. Yeah. Like old Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton did it for little Bill. You know? Little Bill. They all took our money and ran. Right? They all did. But hey, we let them. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Right? Everybody's got an idea until it comes to it. What are you gonna do? Well, it's funny how little bitty things like the TV ratings. What's the deal where they're talking about? New York Times puts out an article. Big three networks, ratings dropping, not good. And you have to go down in the article and see, like MSNBC was down like 43%. CNBC or somebody else was down like 37%. All these are 20, 30s, 40s down. And they put Fox News in the headline. Fox News, MSNBC, CNN. Right? They say are down. Well, look at the numbers. Fox News was actually up 19%. But in the headline, it says down. Fox News, CNBC, all of them are down. And it's just crazy. How anymore? It just that. How can you expect to believe anything? And that goes as Fox to a certain point. They have their agenda too. But but poor old Joe, man. If Joe was running a car wash and did some of the things he does, we might have to let him go. We might have to let him go. Poor Joe, man. Poor Joe. And what's funny is I think we're being awful light on him. I think the people on the right are being awful, awful, awful kind to old Joe. Awful kind. I think I know there's miles and miles of documentation about Joe's crooked spine. And yet, here we sit. See our esteemed president. I still can't believe he's president.
Hey,
You know,
honey,
yeah, baby.
do you have the old one?
I don't have the old dog. I have no idea where she is.
She's with Alex.
Then why did you ask me?
Well, I didn't know whether Alex sent her out.
Well, no.
Diesel's in the living room.
I'm doing live stream.
I'm sorry, did you make me coffee?
I hadn't made your coffee yet because you were in the shower.
Let me go get you.
I'll start your coffee. Y'all hear that? Hold on.
Apparently she's not ready for breakfast.
I started your coffee.
Hmm?
I started
Oh.
your coffee.
Thank you.
Oh, all right. So the the commander in chief, he might be Canadian. He's dumb enough. He might be Canadian. Oh, she looked at me. She didn't like that. He's no Trudeau, I know. But give Trudeau a few years. He'll be tripping upstairs. And Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Oh, Trudeau will be tripping upstairs for you know it. Oh, her aunt. She FaceTimed with her aunt last night, who's in Ottawa. And how many times has she been nasal swabbed for the vid, dear?
I can't hear.
How many times did you say your Aunt Sue was nasal swabbed?
62.
62 times. They've tested this old woman so she could see her husband in the nursing home. 62 jams up your nose. Oh, man. I hadn't even been tested once. I can imagine 62. That's Kathy. Does she have any nasal membrane left? Good God. That's ridiculous. It's just wow. And that poor old woman, if she tests positive, what's the system, dear? Did they do a quarantine on her?
What?
If your Aunt Sue did happen to test positive on one of these visits, what would they do? Quarantine her, and then anybody she came in contact with, what's their whole deal?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know.
What the hell good are you? You're no
They
good.
follow CDC guidelines.
CDC, it's Canada, dear.
Yeah, they just followed CDC.
Our CDC, they follow us. They are dumb, aren't they? They are dumb.
Yeah.
The
Or whoever else.
WHO and the CDC.
He had it about 2 months ago, so she couldn't go.
Well, he tested positive, and they wouldn't let her go. See him for how many weeks?
I think 2.
Like 2 or 3 weeks. They wouldn't let her even in the building to see him because he tested positive. We don't know if he was sick or not. He just can't come see him. It's ridiculous. John, her sister and brother-in-law, we were going to go to Vegas and go to SEMA and stuff. He has an auto body shop. We were going to go do that. And all of a sudden, bam, 2 of their employees schedule surgeries on the same week. And now that's hard to believe that Canada's healthcare,
Get in and out of the country again.
that Canada's healthcare system actually scheduled 2 people a week apart that worked in the same place. And what I'd like to find out who filed first and how that came about. Because that's hard to believe Canada would coordinate something so precise. But what'd you say, dear?
What? I'm sorry?
You are so deaf.
Yes. I'm sorry. What?
No, I was just saying, what was that last thing you said about your aunt?
Oh, I don't know.
I barely heard it, but it was the fact, that she gets tested every time to go see him. And how old is Nobby? 70, 80? He's in his 80s now. 83. And the poor old guy's got, Alzheimer's. He's in a facility. And yeah, if you're going to come see him, they test you and him. And now Canada has put back on the travel deal that you have to test negative to travel. So, golly, this is crazy. Just crazy. Yeah, if y'all hadn't noticed, my wife is deaf. And she only wears her hearing aids at work in front of her boss. And she only wears them in front of me. It gets very frustrating. It gets very irritating. And I have to scream at her. It feels weird when I'm out in public. And I have to holler at her. Standing right next to her. It's painful. But she says, it irritates my ears. Do you have any idea how irritating it is when I can't even speak to you in public? I have to holler at you? I think I'm taking the day today. I'm going to go play golf. The last couple of days I've been catching up on my yard work. Man, being gone that week, grass got high. I mowed twice in the last 4 or 5 days because it was so high. I cut it down to 3.5 inches. Now I'm cutting it down to 2 inches. Second cutting. And that shit got so thick. Ooh. But my veggies are still marching on. Getting cucumbers and okra and still getting tomatoes. Got a couple of big watermelons producing. Looking good. I'm about to pull all the tomatoes up and stuff. They've about run their course. They've got some flowers on them, but it's getting too hot. Getting way too hot. But the living on the outside, looking in, it feels weird. It feels weird. I couldn't imagine being one of these people. And it's terrible that I've never had to do it, live paycheck to paycheck. I've never had to sit and calculate down to the penny. Do I buy this? Or do I forgo and pay a bill? Never been in that position. Can't imagine it. They are just, I bet they're so scared. A girl yesterday, as I walk into the convenience store, she's at the kiosk and she's putting in her information. She's paying out. And the first thing I hear is, "Oh my God, what is it, all Gucci up in there? What's going on? What is that? No way, I don't know that much." And so the girl goes back over the receipt and she's checking. And the girl was upset, said things had gotten Gucci in this convenience store, meaning expensive, and she's almost broke. You better figure this out. And so the girl did. She figured out that she did charge her twice for little personal pizzas. Well, there were 2 pizzas there, but another girl was with her, so I guess she bought one of them. The total bill Had a drink, a few other little things. Only thing was $10. And she was like, hold up, hold up. It's getting Gucci up in here. And it just struck me. Wow. That's got to be tough. It's got to be tough. Because even if they have jobs, the wages aren't going up, but everything else is. And I know it's painful for me. And Kathy went to the grocery store. We've been gone a week. Let everything dwindle down. We got back, went to the grocery store. Told her, I said, man, bet you it ain't under $300. And granted, she's a very, 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 very picky shopper. It's like $350. I remember as a kid, whole basket full. And I remember the shock of my parents the first time we did it. We checked out, and it was $100. It was like, what is going on here? $100. We barely got a basket full. We don't have 2 baskets. Barely a basket full. It was a shock. And then now it's not a shock at all to walk out of Walmart with 3 little bags. It was $100. And you're like, not even a full basket. And that's one of those deals. Or what do you do? What can you do? Those people, they're working their job, doing all they can. They know where to go. They made choices. We all make choices. It was their decision at some point in life. I got them where they are. I don't worry about them, but I do contemplate. Wow, what would I do? And it's hard to imagine because I know what do you do? I've never been in that position. And I do remember when I was single and times were tight and I only had a little bit of mustard and mayo and some bologna. Yeah, I remember that. But I don't ever remember. I never remember worrying, ever being on edge. That I couldn't pay my bills, that it wasn't going to work. What was I going to do? I just never been there. Never been there. I don't know if that was because I was always confident I was going to make it or I don't know. But just, you see those kind of people and you go, wow, it's Gucci up in here in this convenience store. What do you do? We forget. We forget. I do what I can when I can, when the spirit leads me. But golly, these days it's almost like every time I get in line, I feel almost compelled, to help people. Because everybody's in line now, struggling. That's not, I hate that. But on happier notes, happy. My, well, I don't know, I'm so happy. I had a weird feeling. Get this crazy story. Had a weird feeling a couple of days ago. I had to call my brother. I'm like, something's going on with him. I called my brother. So I called him. And there was no answer. And this was on the weekend. And I'm kind of like, So Monday morning I was sitting there. He came over me again. So I called him. He answers. He's like, hey, let me call you back. I'm lining the guys out right now. Fixing to start a job. And I'll call you back. Okay. Calls me back. I'm like, so how's it going? He's like, man, it's crazy. He's like, get this. He's like, you remember this guy? worked for us. Yeah, I guess I met him once. Been a while. He's like, well, supposedly this last weekend, he was online with what he thought was an underage girl, drove up to Lubbock to meet her, and was busted in a pedophile sting. Right? The guy gets busted in a pedophile sting. So this is a couple weeks ago. He's bailed out of jail and stuff. He's been coming to work. My brother asked him, what happened? What's going on? I thought the girl was older and, it's no big deal. It's just going to be a misdemeanor, da-da-da. So they're going through the process. He's still at work. Monday morning, or Tuesday morning, I guess it was. It's Tuesday morning. My brother says about 7 o'clock he gets a call. It's this guy's wife says, hey, he had a wreck on the way to work. Killed in a car wreck. My brother's like, wow, no way. So things unwind. Turns out the guy had left a note, told his wife he was going to commit suicide. He can go through this whole thing. So he got out on the interstate and did a head-on with an 18-wheeler. Wow. Talk about a decision. Man, there's a lot of ways to go out, man, with just you. You ain't got to go involving everybody else. Wow, that was crazy. My poor brother, and then he gets a phone call from my aunt. Well, some of the less desirable family members have been coming out of the woodwork for my parents wanting money. I think they gave one of my cousins some money. So here come others. Well, I've told y'all before, my dad shouldn't be driving at all, but he does. So my mom goes him into taking these people for a ride in his vintage 66 GTO. Well, he takes him for the ride. Somebody in this group calls my brother. I don't know why he's still driving. Ain't no damn way he should still be driving. He ran 2 stop signs with us. Now we thought we were going to get killed. So he's like, yeah. I don't know what you want me to do. I tried to take his keys. We tried to keep him driving. He wouldn't. Well, then later, this is like on Monday or Tuesday. And like yesterday, he gets a call. Yeah, hi, this is LabCorp. Your dad was here getting lab work earlier, and as he left, we observed him backing out and hitting another vehicle, and he didn't stop. So we just wanted to let you know we called the police. They'll be inquiring on that. Yeah, I'm live streaming. And so my brother's dealing with that. My dad's out there running into shit. And the cops are looking for him now, I guess. I don't know. So my poor brother, I got to go out there. My dad's got a neurologist appointment coming in August, so I got to go out there then and get that all straightened out. But, sitting on the outside, looking in. Tinkerbell, you getting some food? Oh, yeah, she says. Oh, yeah. There you go. I'll put her out there with her food. Okay. Tinkerbell, where do you want to go? You want to go out here? You go out here. There you go. Got it. All good. Mm-hmm. All right, Tinkerbell. Here you go, Zucker. Here you go, Zucker. That was funny. That was funny. She squatted to pee, and I come with her food, and she just turned and it never stopped peeing. Just turned and peed a big old circle. That gum dogs peeing all over the place. We can't believe that old dog's still humming like that. She'll be 18 coming this September. About blind, but she's still humping it. Oh, where was it? Oh yeah, my brother, my dad, all that. I don't know what you do. What do you do? Sitting here on the outside looking in. I love the way they're turning up the heat on this whole green energy deal. Did y'all see the latest? Oh, his green deal didn't pass. Joe Manchin blocked him again. And old Pete Buttigieg says, hey, this is what transition looks like. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be painful. But we have to do it. We're running out of time. And what Joe say? Joe said, this is a code red, baby. Bringing out some Colonel Jessup. Do code reds exist? On the record, I say no. Off the record, I say they're a necessary part of the fabric of these military regimes. You gotta have your code reds. You gotta have code red. But we're now in code red. Since I was born, we've had the oil crisis. We've had a little ice age coming. We've had acid rain. We've had global warming. Now we have climate change. And we were supposed to have died 3 or 4 times along the way. And we're still here. Hadn't died yet. What's up with that? And the funny thing is, I love the way they're able to go. Crisis, climate crisis across the world. Climate crisis everywhere. Oh, really? What is it? Oh, it's the same stuff you've always seen. You know, poor people, hungry, infrastructure, poor countries. But it's the climate causing it now. It's not bad leadership. It's not greedy people. It's none of that anymore. It used to be that. But now it's the climate. That's beautiful. I love that transition. I love it. Now it's a climate causing people to be hungry. Where 30 years ago, it was bad people. Well, and you know, droughts. My whole life, I've seen more 100-year droughts in the last 40 years than they've had in the last 1,000 years. It's always something, right? It's never anyone's fault. It's our fault. As a group, we're doing this. It's our fault. Yeah, Joe Kerry or John Kerry. Was it Jesse Waters had a deal with John Kerry? His carbon footprint over the last year. He calls John Kerry's airplane the Squirrel One, and like 500 metric tons, tons of carbon emissions from him flying all over the world, trying to save the climate. That's beautiful. Now, if not him, who? We gotta have somebody. We have somebody fly around the world and save the climate. Who better than John Kerry? And I'm sure we're paying him very well to take care of us. Y'all believe that? Y'all believe that? That's as ludicrous as say like my dad's little company hiring hiring a woman, anybody, hiring somebody to fly around Texas and talk to people about climate because we sell high efficiency air conditioning. And so therefore, I mean, how are you going to sell more air conditioners if people don't understand the climate crisis? So we ought to hire somebody for us. Tell everybody in the world about how bad the climate is. Tell me what y'all think about this. I think I brought it up before. In the last several years, I've had these huge snowstorms, right? In the winter storms, big, all over the country, right? And we've had these rains. I mean, think about the hurricane that blew through. It even went all the way up to the East Coast, dropping water everywhere, tons of it. But our lakes are drying up. Lake Powell, Lake Mead, they're drying up. Where'd all this moisture go? I contend that it's chemical, artificial snow, artificial rain, and therefore the H2O content is very low, voluminous, but it's mostly chemical reaction. There's very little water in it. So once, like the people showed the videos, they couldn't melt the snowballs. Morning, how's it going? But where'd all this water go? Kind of weird, right? Because I mean, if the snowballs won't melt, and I remember telling everybody how around my house, it's so flat around there. When it rained just a little bit, I got puddles, and then especially big snow like that. And as that snow melted, I didn't get big puddles everywhere. I didn't get a mess. It was weird, just weird. So what do? What do you do? I think that was a huge part of it. I think that's something we'll never really know. And plus, what's the program guy was talking about Lake Mead? He says you go to Vegas and talk to realtors and go, well, hey, is this still going to be sustainable in a year or two? I've heard the lakes drying up. What's going on? And all the realtor people are, no way. We got more water around here than you can shake a stick at. These houses, the values, everything is going up. It's all good. What do they know? That's one of the things I've learned is that if real estate puts a bad tag on it, then something's wrong with that property. If they're not going to develop it and they're not going to make money off of it, something's wrong. Something's wrong. But if real estate companies are willing to stick it out and slut these, if they're willing to hang on to it and they're not willing to underwrite it to where it's a hazard, floodplain, whatever you want to call it, and there ain't nothing wrong. You look at all the East Coast mansions that our great leaders own. Well, if they were really afraid of global warming, climate change, seas rising, they wouldn't be selling real estate on the coastlines. They'd be out of that business because they ain't in the business to lose money. It's just one of those little metrics that when you see real estate dump something, when they get away from it, it's toxic. It's toxic. Well, I guess that was my 35 little minutes this morning. I didn't have a lot to say. Had a crazy night, up and down a little bit. But I'm go hit the ball today. See how the old body's cranking. Other than that, everybody have good discernment, good vibrations. I love you all. Take care.